All right, here goes my starting watch list for Monday. The group in the chat room will find other stuff in addition to this list. And, by the end of Monday, I may or may not have traded any of these. We may find stuff unfolding with big volume, and trade those instead or in addition to some of these. But I do like to have a list to start with, and this is what I've got. JRJC, kind of see the volume increasing on Friday. And let me get a drawing tool going here. So this thing made this huge move from the mid fours all the way to almost 12, and really it's just been grinding lower ever since. But what you will notice is that now about 4 days in a row right there, it's touched $7. Okay, that's about 4 days in a row that it's finally finding support at 7. Switching to 15-minute candles, you can see a very nice volume pop on Friday. And remember, Friday was a fairly weak market, and this one held up pretty well. So I think this one has more upside in it. It's got nice support at 7. So I want to watch this one for some follow-through to the upside on Monday. ZU, I got an old trend line drawn there, and you can see it kind of broke it last week, and now it's really just flagging. I think this is over 30% short, 30% of the float being held short, so that could give this some power. So anywhere over this little flag on the daily chart here, I think ZU might get a nice pop. Switching to 5-minute candles, you can see at the very end of the day it did get some buying. So it just makes me want to watch this one. There it is on 15s. It's holding up the $37 area pretty well. And I think this one might get a nice pop one of these days, especially due to that short position. MOBI had a very nice pop on Wednesday last week. And now we're down 2 days in a row into the 8 days. So I want to watch that one for a bounce. Same with HPJ. This was on my, on my video, or one of my videos last week, and I said it needed to come in some more. And now we're down to the 8-day. This one's had a lot of good news lately, so really want to watch HPJ for a bounce. And let me just say, when I'm talking about bounce plays, what I like to see is a trade in a narrow range, a fairly narrow range for an hour or two, preferably 3 or 4 hours, and break to the upside in the afternoon. And I like to be that first group buying that high of day break. So if they meet those parameters, that's my favorite way to play these. A lot of times I'll have these on watch and they won't meet those parameters and I just won't do anything with them. Remember, it doesn't cost you anything to have something on a chart. And if it does meet your entry parameters, then you can make some money. SINO, again, crazy move from $1.50 to over $4.50. 4 red days in a row, down into the 200-day, down near the 20-day, or the 8-day, I'm sorry, and a couple bottoming tails. So I want to watch that one in that same light for a potential bounce. OTIV, same kind of deal, down to the 20-day after a really strong move here. And let me show you something else on this one. It's kind of interesting. This thing held the $3 area for quite a while here, so $3 is kind of significant. And then it popped up a couple weeks ago and it stopped at $3 before finally breaking through. So now we're getting back down near that $3 area again. So that makes this one a little more interesting if it gets to that area. Couple more bounce plays. DLPH, I don't know, what is that, 7-8 days in a row down, and has nice support around $65, as you can see. So anytime something's fallen that many days in a row to get fairly, I don't want to say long-term support, but decent support this year, that's a great place to look for a bounce, that $65 area on DLPH. Dean Foods, DF. Nice bounces off the 14.25 area back here and here. And really did pretty well after gapping down below it this day, climbed up ever since. So now you're getting 4 or 5 days in a row starting to get shape and volume. I want to watch that for a bounce off the 14.25 area. PGN, a little bit of a strange chart here because it's a newer issue, but it almost hit 12 after coming public. I think it's a spin-off from another company. And then just really got decimated here. I think I called it as a potential bounce play on this day because of just almost straight down in the volume. And it did give a nice bounce, although I didn't catch it that day. And look what's happened ever since. Now you're getting several more days down and the biggest volume day yet on Friday. And if you switch to 5-minute candles, you can see big volume coming in at the end of the day. So let me switch to 15s, and you can kind of see what I'm looking at here. The last time, it got this shape change where it's almost straight down. You got a nice day and a half, 2-day bounce. Well, you're certainly, and then you can see the shape change starting to happen again right there, and massive volume. So this one, again, a potential bounce play. That is PGN. Again, not a lot of chart to go on, but still looks like it's ready to bounce. IFON, big pop all the way back down in 3 days. If this one can do that whole trade in a narrow range and then break to the upside after an hour or two, or preferably the afternoon, nice trade possibility there. And then lastly here, VHC, just decimated from 16 bucks down to almost 4, but it hasn't since I think it was halted the day it I think came unhalted here, and then just tanked. Well, the very next day, here's the opening 15-minute high, the next day, and the next day, putting little lines at the opening 15-minute high. You'll notice on this one too, the same day, it never broke its opening 15-minute high there or there, but it is starting to maybe put in a higher low here. So this one has a chance to get a nice percentage move in one day with a proper setup. So I do want to watch this one. Again, I'd love an afternoon break after a narrow range like this. So keep VHC on a chart as well. And you know what? That's plenty to watch going into Monday. We'll look for other stuff as well in the chat room as a team. But I'm going to leave the list at that, and we will talk to you tomorrow night.